Welcome to Tip Top Tabletop. My name is Pops, and I'm painting the Pusgoyle Blightlord today. At least I'm finishing up. I'm doing it with the following paints. As usual, I'm showing them at the beginning of the video. I'll refer to it later on. Just enjoy the video. As always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and if you give a comment, I'll definitely respond to that. Jumping straight into the painting. I'm using Squig Orange right here. I'm using that as a base coat because I like the vibrancy and color that it brings with itself. I have the color green that really pops out, and I want an orange that kind of works with it. I will do everything not to desaturate it or anything, so I'll use the color straight out of the bottle, of course with a little bit of water to get a nice opaque layer. I will bring more colors into it later, of course, but for the first layer, just make it solid, make it opaque, make sure that it just covers the model nicely. Don't fret too much about things because other colors will come over it, so a little bit of a smudging here or there won't be too big of a problem. Just enjoy the process of painting. As the layer of the Squig Orange is opaque and nicely on top of the armor of the beast, I'm going to use a mixture of Squig Orange from Citadel and Orange of Vallejo. I'll use the 25 rule, so that means I'm going to use 75% of the Squig, which is the base coat that I'm using, and then 25% of the other one. So that's kind of 3-to-1 if you want to use the numbers like that. And I'll use that just to touch up the higher points or create a little bit of lighting in it, just to get some more vibrancy, a little bit more color into it. When you're done with the first layer of that, you can always go to a 50-50 mix and eventually to a 75-25 on the other side, just to highlight it up if you want to go all that way. I've got something else in mind because I really want the edges to pop out and I want scratches on it, and kind of the thing that you see when people are painting the Tyranids. So that's my end goal here. So I'm not going to do the entire process with lighting up edges and stuff like that. I'm going to do it a little bit differently, but we'll see that a little bit later. So yeah. As we touched up a little bit on the orange, Squid Orange base layer, I think that I want a little bit more color on the center of the armor. So that means I am going to make that step from 25-75 to 50-50 Squig Orange, just to get more vibrancy in the carapace. I like this model to be colorful. Of course, I've got this friend who says that I don't really know how to use colors. Definitely not know how to make certain colors fit together, but I like a little bit of coloring popping out. So that means I like blue and red, I like the orange and the green. So yeah, that means I want more color in it. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just coloring up the carapace. Setting it also up to get the edges and the highlight a little bit better, but right here I'm just adding color. So it's a step you can forgo if you don't want as much color as I want to, but yeah, I like it. As the colors are settling on the carapace, I want the edges to be more vibrant. I want to go to a mixture of orange and pale sand to really get the color out on the edges. To do this, I want a more smoother transition, so that means I'm going to now mix the Squig Orange, which is the base coat, and the orange into a 25-75 mixture. 25% Squig Orange, 75% orange of Vallejo. That way you can see the vibrancy pick up and the transition, even though I do want a slightly hard line between the really vibrant color and the orange. I don't want the oranges to be different from each other. So that's why I want the transition to be as smooth as possible in the orange to really pick up the difference in just a second. Alright, just look at, I'm quite out of picture here, so I'll be back into picture in just a second. My apologies for that. But when I come back, look at how the brush is following the model from the inside of the carapace to the outside of the carapace. I'm doing this deliberately because I want the paint to be most deposited towards the end of the model. I want the transition from inside to outside to be there, so that means less paint on the inside, more paint on the outside. And doing the strokes from inside towards outside, it will deposit the most paint on the place where the brush leaves the model. This is just something that has to do with the water flow into the brush, and it's not that difficult, but just follow the model lines. It's what most people will say. If the model is going towards the end, follow it with the brush, go towards the place where you want the most paint deposited, and just move with the model. Like I said, I really want the edges to become vibrant, to pop out. I want these scratches on it, so that means at this point I am getting over towards pale sand from AK. I'm still mixing it with a little bit of orange because, well, the orange is the base coat, and making the transition completely to only one other color would be too hard of a line. So I always try to take back a little bit of the base coat in everything that I'm using on top of that base coat. It gives a more coherency to the entire module. If you look at me, I'm using stripes, so sort of scratches to the end. I like the texture look of it. I like the way that it looks, so I'm just moving down each line from the inside to the outside, just the same as before, making small scratches one after another, some a little bit deeper, some a little bit longer. I'm just looking at what I like. There are some lines already in the model itself, dents or scratches that are already there. I'm gonna highlight them and take the paint really through that, creating the most texture that I can, and creating a visually, aesthetically nice look, at least my opinion. It's my model, it's the way that I'm painting it, it's my submission into the Squidmar Open entry that I'm gonna participate in, and I'm gonna expand on later, but I like it, and that's the only thing that really matters when you're painting something. You need to really like it, because it's your piece of art, it's your creature, it's your vision of that thing that you're painting. And this is what I like. As the carapace comes to finish, I'm gonna continue to the fur under the saddle. Many people would say, okay, go to a brown, because brown is a fur. It could be bear, it could be wolf, it could be something. But I'm already using much brown in this model. I have the saddle, I have the legs, so I don't really want to go there. So I went to the gray. I base coated it gray, and then I'm starting to highlight it with the same pale sand that I've used again and again in the model. It's what I'm trying to say with this is, it's okay to go to white, or it's okay to go to black. I'm choosing not to. But the great thing is, try to get a certain color, and if it's green or orange or blue, it doesn't matter. In this case, it's pale sand, that you're gonna repeat into the model to get that coherency with everything. So I'm using the pale sand to highlight the carapace, to highlight the legs, to highlight the fur under the saddle, just to get the coherency into the model for as much as I can. Even when you're dry brushing, you can do that with something other than white. In the end, I really didn't like the dry brush effect on the fur, so I went back in with a brush. and started highlighting each and every piece of the fur. To an extent, I liked it. So dry brushing is a great technique. In this case, it didn't really work for me. I am really enjoying this model. I must say, the way that it's coming together with the green body, the brown legs, and the orange carapace, it's a lot of color, but I'm really liking it. I like the way it pops, I like the way it looks. So yeah, I'm really happy. But the saddle needs a little bit more color. The brown is fine, it's good, but I want a little bit of color, so I'm gonna make the edge blue. I know what you're thinking. I don't use blue anywhere else, so blue is really a strange color to use, but I like the color blue. So I'm using it right here, just a bit, not too much, just a little bit around the saddle. Just small touch-ups. Let's see how it looks. If it really doesn't look good, I can always change it back into an orange or something else. And I do advocate for that, try things out. Look how they look how they're gonna see out in the saddle. To be honest, there's gonna be a rider on top of it, so it really gonna draw the attention away, but at this point I want some color there. My motto, my thing, so that means I'm gonna put blue there. The next part is gonna be the horns. I kind of fret the horns. I find them difficult because in my mind, it needs to have a nice transition from dark to ivory to get that point out. So I'm starting with ivory from the Squidmar Essential Paint set. I believe that's Vallejo, but I'm not quite sure there. But at least it's the ivory color. I'm going to use it on the stinger in his butt, as well as the horn in front of the saddle. Again, a little bit of water, a little bit of ivory, just to create until it has a nice opaque ivory layer. Then we're gonna go in with a brown. I'm gonna really glaze this brown. So, like I said, I'm scared of doing this. This is a technique I don't use as often as I should. It's quite simple. Just make the paint wet. Put some towel beside you, a paper towel, and get some of the moist out of the brush, and then just glaze from the place where you want the thinnest paint towards the place where you want the paint deposited the most. So in my case, from the middle of the horn towards the beginning of the horn. Smooth transition, smooth brush strokes. Try to get that color in with a very thin layer. When you are done with the horn, when you have the transparency that you think, okay, this is the way that I like it, you go on to the next part. In this case, I'm going to go on to the face. And the face is a thing, because in my mind, it's not going to be green like the skin. The face in this creature is something that pops out from the interior of the beast, kind of like the inside just pops out with the mouth and the teeth, just like, coming out from inside, being pinkish, being disgusting almost. So I'm using a purplish base coat here, and I'm really gonna light up towards a more pinkish color. It's just, in my mind, something grotesque that comes out of the creature. When it attacks, it just like almost like an Aliens, where the inside of the mouth comes out. Yeah, well, I kind of see that happening with this creature too. That it just, the face comes out, the mouth comes out, the teeth come out. It's this extending thing from inside. I might be crazy, but that's just the way that I envision this creature. Must say that now that I'm thinking about it, I'm really curious how you guys would envision this creature. So if you have a Pusgoyle Blightlord or a Nurgle Marine or Nurgle creature that you really are proud of, please leave it in the comments or send it to me, and I might make a compilation in the next video where I can show off things that you guys created. I really like when YouTubers do that, show stuff from the community. Yeah, just leave me a comment and show me what you guys made. Yeah, we'll see what I can do with it, but I'm just really curious. I just really like to see what the community creates. So please, reach out. That brings us to the end of the video. I want to thank you guys for sticking around as long as you did. If you did and you enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up. You could subscribe if you want to see when the next part is coming out. I have 3 parts at this point already. The 4th part will be about the wings, will be about the basing, and the last part will be about the death guard actually on top of this creature. I might make 2 parts of it as well, I don't really know, but at least it's going to be in 1 part. So yeah, I enjoy making this, I enjoy talking to you guys. I would love to hear from you. Honestly, just leave me a comment, leave me anything. I'm apologizing if certain words weren't pronounced the way that they are. I'm not English, I'm not American. But yeah, my name is Pops. This is Tip Top Tabletop. Bye.